This is the Tim Walz address to Las Vegas, and I wanted to watch. I started watching some of it, the whole, thanking everybody, and he started talking about some things, and I was like, you know what, I don't know about this guy. Obviously not voting for him, but I wanted to give him the benefit about what what he might talk about, and so I wanted to start listening to it. Then he starts in on his lies, how they do, and starts saying things that aren't true, and then starts saying things. I was like, you know what? Let me just do this live because and do my live reaction to this because I want you guys to hear what he has to say because I know some of you guys just are not interested in what he has to say or this whole side has to say. But let's watch this together.
Look, my students and my players.
And he's talking right now that he was just a coach at some school that he led to a championship. So let me.
Are the ones who encouraged me to run for office.
I'm sure they did.
I hope to instill in them.
I'm sure they did.
Commitment to a common good. And something
he might have been a great coach. I'm not sure.
Each and every one of you came here as a single person. A single person can make a difference.
It's true. Okay. Everybody can make a difference, sure.
Never planned my life to run for office, but I think my life prepared me well.
Yeah.
And when my neighbors asked if I'd run for office, I was pretty clueless. I did not know that the district I was running in had only had one Democrat since 1892 before me.
Don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see if that's true.
Them in the United States Congress for 12 years.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Where I had the privilege of serving as the ranking member on the VA committee, working with Republicans to pass the most extensive veterans package since the GI Bill.
Really? The most extensive package since the GI Bill? I don't know about that, but I highly doubt that. And I would like somebody to maybe fact check that because being a veteran myself, I have had numerous different benefits, since the GI Bill. And I'm sure he was not around since 9/11 as the governor there. And so to say that is to say a lie because that's no. The post 9/11 bill is offered the veterans a lot of different things, especially going to school and leveraging that for amazing benefits for school and all that other stuff. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't the one that did that since the GI Bill. Come on, man.
I learned the art of compromising without compromising my values. And as governor, I bring all those experiences together to tackle the most pressing challenges we have in the great state of Minnesota. Now, each of you came here. You came here because you love the country. You came here because you know how fantastic leader is going to walk out those doors in a minute or two.
The most fantastic leader is going to walk out the door. Unless he's talking about Trump, I don't think that's who's going to be coming out of that stage. But I think he might be referring to the Kamala Harris, which, well, never mind.
Person that you see bringing everything to us. But just be very clear here. Donald Trump sees the world very differently than all of us here.
No, that's true. That is very true. He sees the world a whole lot different than you do, buddy. And a lot of people do. And yes.
Each of you talk about service. Donald Trump knows nothing about service.
He knows nothing about service? He practically did his job for free as the president. He donated all of his quarter earnings every year to various organizations, including the VA, including other various. You could fact check that all you want, but he has donated all of his quarterly earnings as the president of the United States to other people. So he did his job for free. He actually into the office saying, "I don't even want a paycheck," but they knew that they couldn't do that because then no president would ever get paid after him because they'd have to write a bill and all these other things to do that and pass laws. But to say that he's never served or don't understand how to serve, come on, man.
It's pretty hard to provide service to others when you're too busy looking out for only yourself.
Only looking out. If you ever see Trump anywhere, he loves this country so flipping much. I mean, just the policies that he's in place. I mean, our economy has boomed when he was there. We were energy like our energy levels are. I mean, we were. Man, there's just so many great things about Trump that I can't believe he's even saying this.
Again and again and again, Donald Trump made decisions to weaken this country to strengthen his own hand.
Weaken this whole country. I mean, every country respects Donald Trump and respected Donald Trump when he was in office. And to say that he's weakened our country is a slap in the face. Regardless, right now, in comparison to right now, our country is so weak, or we are so much in debt. Our economy is tanked. I mean, right, the stock market, what, 2 days ago was at the all-time low. I mean, these things are numbers that these guys are still in office, and he's saying that Trump did something to weaken our country. What about right now? Our country's completely weak.
He mocked our laws. He sowed division and chaos amongst our citizens. And that's to say nothing of his record as president. He froze in the face of the global COVID pandemic, and our neighbors died because of it.
He froze? At the nation's... Is he talking about COVID? Is that what he's talking about? Talking about COVID? Where these fools were in charge of everything? When the presidential election was stolen, and these fools got into office and started doing all kind of stuff, where the global lockdowns were because of every Democratic state and city, that's what he's talking about?
By not addressing COVID, he drove our economy into the ground.
No, all the lockdowns drove our economy to the ground. Every mom and pop who had a business lost their business. They couldn't go outside. They couldn't do anything. Lest us forget that these guys were still in office when COVID was at its highest and peak, and people were dying because of what he did. Trump actually tried to get the vaccines faster before we knew anything about this and where it came from. Remember, he kept calling it the China virus because Trump knew where this virus came from, and he was trying to get China to pay for all the vaccines and everything like that for us. And here this guy's talking about that Trump is the one that froze when he wasn't even in office at the peak of COVID, when these guys were running the CDC and all these guys were putting out these crazy rules and regulations and locking down the whole country because of these guys.
I just want to set the record straight, because facts do matter, and there's not an alternate set of facts.
I couldn't have said it even better myself. Facts do matter, and you can't have an alternate set of facts because these guys are just talking out the side of their neck. Come on, man. Really? Yeah, facts do matter, buddy.
Here's one.
Can't make up your own.
Violent crime was up during the Trump presidency.
Really? Look, do some fact checking on that. Violent crimes were up. Violent crimes were actually down. Our economy was actually up. There were less border crossings during Trump's administration. We didn't enter in any type of war when Trump was in office. He was actually getting us out of a war and set up all these exit plans for Iraq and Afghanistan. But these guys screwed the pooch and messed that all up, leaving Afghanistan.
And that's even not counting his crimes.
And also what I add, Trump got apprehended all the MS-13 gang criminals out of our country and got them the heck out of here, and made Mexico take them back, or else they weren't going to get any funding from the U.S. anymore. And so in Mexico gladly took all these MS-13 gang members out of here. So to say that is to say these guys are lying, man. I don't understand how these people can believe all these people behind them listening and all this crap, because they don't really understand what's going on. They just probably voted Democrat. The whole family voted Democrat. They don't even know anything what's going on. Wow.
Some of you gray hair or no hairs in here can actually remember a time when Republicans actually talked about freedom and believed in it.
Well, Trump believed it and has done things to make us free.
Not these guys. These are the guys that believe government should be free to invade your exam room with your doctor.
What? Free to invade our exam room with the doctor? What are you even talking about, bro?
I'm sure it's true here in Nevada as it's true in Minnesota. We respect our neighbors' rights to make their own personal choices.
Okay, is he talking about abortion? What's he talking about here? Look at that smug face.
We don't have to agree with them or make the same choice, but we know that this nation, things work best when you mind your own damn business.
So what is he talking about here? Drop in a comment. Does anybody know what he's referring to about doctors coming into exam rooms and minding our own business? What's he talking about here? Somebody please put it in the comment.
I don't need any help. I don't need any help from those guys telling me which books to read.
Which books to read?
Don't need any lecture about morality from those guys.
Are you talking about kids and these pornographic books in our kids' libraries? What are we talking about here? Because yeah, we as parents and adults, if he's talking about that, we need to know what our kids' curriculum is, what you're trying to indoctrinate our kids with some nonsense and trying to confuse them and tell them that they're not boys, they're actually girls, or girls are actually boys. Like, what are you talking about here, bro?
And the last thing they can mind their own damn business is I don't need any help from them talking about my family.
Again, what are you talking about? Please, somebody drop a comment in there.
It gets personal, where they want to dictate things like IVF and reproductive care.
In vitro fertilization? Is that what are you talking about? You have the right to do that.
A lot of you out there, this is the most personal choices we have.
Reproductive care is not abortion.
When I decided to have children, we spent years going through fertility treatments.
Good for you.
And I said, I remember, we have somebody to help. You want water? All right. Thanks for helping your neighbors. But I remember those waiting for the phone calls. You'd go through the treatments. I would have my neighbor come over to have to give shots to my wife and things like that. And the phone would ring, and you would just hope so highly that it would be good news. And then when you found out the treatments didn't work, it was a darkness that could blot out the sun. So
okay, so why are you talking about in vitro fertilization? I mean, who cares? I mean, no one's keeping your rights from an IVF treatment, you know. And I'm sad that didn't work out for you in the very beginning. But I mean, what does this have to do with abortion?
To tell you, it wasn't by chance when that phone call finally came, and we found out we were going to welcome our daughter into the world.
Good for you. That's great. Good for you.
We named her the most powerful word in the universe: hope. Hope.
That's great.
So when you hear Kamala Harris and I talk about freedom, we're very clear about this. We mean the freedom to make your own healthcare decisions.
So IVF is healthcare? Okay. If you want to go get IVF treatments and have a kid because you're having problems with that, fine. Go. No one's telling you can't have IVF treatments. What are you even talking about? I mean, if he's alluding to lining that up with abortion and how that falls under reproductive care, you see how these guys kind of reach and try to stretch and pull in stuff like that, like IVF and abortion. That's all reproductive health care because it's your choice to choose how you want to have babies and don't want to have babies. You see how they kind of just meld that together like it's some hope speech. You know, we got to understand that killing an innocent killing the unborn, you know, in vitro, you don't have any, that baby has no right to live when you take that choice from them. And what these guys are wanting to do is try to rope all that in as IVF and abortion, that it's all healthcare. When's the last time you ever had somebody tell you that, you know, killing somebody on death row is healthcare? That's the same thing. You can't just kill somebody and expect them to, you know, that's healthcare. That we created healthcare when we put somebody on death row. That's not what that is. So hopefully that's not what he's talking about, but I have a feeling that's exactly what he's talking about. Freedom to choose.
And that your children.
Exactly, Johnny. Did y'all start affirming care on your kid? Yeah. Right.
Being shot dead in their classroom.
So we're going for gun control now. Because remember what Kamala Harris says, that she's going to violently take, or what was the word? I don't want to say violently, but forcefully take our gun rights if we don't, you know, turn them in, you know. And I've got to find that clip, but that's what they want, because they want safe streets. But hello, you know, any violent person or criminal is not going to abide by your rules and regulations because you decide to take everybody's guns, right? That's what I'm saying, Johnny. Come take it. I mean, you can't just decide, oh, we're going to take everybody's guns and think that everybody's going to turn their guns in. That's when violence increases, because then people like in Canada or any of these places, when criminals know that people aren't armed, they're going to be more more at to just try to do something, to do harm to other people, because they know that the general public is not armed. So they're gonna do more criminal things, because they're not gonna be, there's not gonna be no defense against that. So let's see how he segues right into gun control. Let's see what he does here.
Look, again, I know Nevada's a lot like Minnesota. In Minnesota, we believe in the Second Amendment.
Do you? Do you really?
But we also believe in common sense gun violence laws.
Yeah, common sense gun violence laws. Let's see if he talks about AR-15s and how we don't need them, because that's a rifle, not an automatic weapon. Let's see what he says.
President Harris believes education should be a ticket to the middle class, not crippling student loan debt.
Crippling student loan debt. Okay, so if we start going into student loan debt, you know, these guys have decided to go to college to take on a debt to go to college and get an education. So unless you're going to make all education free, which still comes out of taxpayers' money, you can't just wipe out somebody's debt. Why don't you wipe out my debt for my mortgage as well too? Because I decided to buy a house. Now it's crippling me because I can't afford to pay for my mortgage. You're going to wipe that out too and put that on the taxpayers' money? Come on, man. Why don't you have some common sense?
Because in 87 days, we're going to settle our political differences not through violence. We're going to settle it by beating them at the ballot box.
Beating them at the ballot box or stealing it from the ballot box? Let's see what they're actually going to do. They sure did.
So look, I keep saying this. This is a pretty simple thing here. This election's about the choice, about what direction this country will go in. And I want to be clear. I know very clearly that I am.
I want to be clear.
Choir,
I want to be clear.
Here's my words for you. The choir needs to sing. The choir needs to sing.
What does that mean? Preach to the choir, choir needs to sing? Let I remind you, changing the trajectory of our country, these guys are in office right now. If they're making all these promises that they'll do something, you still got 90 days, as you say, to make all these things to happen. So what the heck? You guys are in office. Kamala's in office right now. She's the VP.
The other day I was saying this. I started out by saying, don't believe Donald Trump when he plays dumb about 2025. But then I remembered, you don't believe him on anything because that's what you shouldn't believe.
I believe him in everything. I believe he's a man of action. This guy has done so much in his first year in presidency for our country. It's ridiculous. You can go on and on and on about the stuff that he's done for our country in a positive way. And these guys in the last 3.5 years have freaking screwed the pooch. I mean, look at the violence we have right now in our country. Look at the open borders of the just immigrants and people coming. We don't even know who's in our country right now. They can, I mean, we have an invasion of people in our country that are undocumented. And what does Kamala Harris say about that? We want freedom for all undocumented and documented people in our country. Really? You want to help them after they got into our country illegally? Now you want to help them continue to, I mean, these guys want to tear our country apart. And they think that for whatever reason, that's going to help our country by just letting more and more and more people undocumented give them money and allow them, I guess, to vote, because that's what they want them to do. Is they just want their vote so they can tear our country apart. I mean, there's no other way to dissect that.
Well, look,
unbelievable.
I coached football for enough years. When somebody
maybe you should go back to doing that.
They plan on using it.
Maybe you should just go back and doing that. Coach football.
When they do, they'll do what they've done. They'll rig the economy so that the middle class gets nothing and the rich get richer.
Really? Is that what happened under Trump? That the rich got richer? Is that what happened? Let's do some fact checking on that, because all of a sudden, you know, we had this, laptop from the president, and that just kind of just disappeared. He seemed to got a lot of ties with China and made himself rich. So if he's looking out for himself, if he's going to talk about somebody looking out for themselves, numero uno, that's got to be Biden, because their whole family is waxed rich because of his presidency. I mean, we still don't know what's on Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, we all know, but we don't know because it never came to fruition. But what did they do? They've tried to indict Donald Trump 4, 5, 6 different times. None of them stuck. They tried to kill him, couldn't do that. And now what are they going to do? I strongly believe they're going to probably more than likely pull another COVID type crap to where they can control the vote, put in more mail-in ballots to try to take over to try to take the election again. That's where I strongly feel. We're going to pray against that though, because we ain't about to have that up in here.
If this guy gets an opportunity again, he won't only pick up where he left off.
Yep.
It will be much worse than it was last.
It'll be much worse for you because you'll be a part of that swamp that he's draining you. I mean, all these guys, come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, it's gonna be worse for y'all. It is.
Social Security, pull your health care.
Cut Social Security. We're gonna go there. Social Security, and you guys have just took more and more money out of our Social Security budget to pay Ukraine for more war stuff. And we just don't have any more money in Social Security. It's already been crippled. You know, when I get to the ages of retirement, I know there ain't gonna be no Social Security. I mean, it's already wiped out. I guarantee you it's already wiped out. And you're talking about him wiping it out? Look how much money we just given away. I mean, we've never, as a country, has ever done any type of negotiation with terrorists. But for whatever reason, these knuckleheads have been giving money to Iran, and now they've attacked Israel like crazy with all their, with all their munitions and throwing missiles and rockets and things like that at Israel. And these knuckleheads are the ones that are doing that right now, wiping out our Social Security.
Underfund public schools, all of it. That's damn right. Damn right. We're not going back. Look, this guy's not fighting for you or your family. He doesn't give a damn.
Just because you say something, that doesn't mean it's true. Trump is a fighter through and through. Remember this, guys. Remember to think through this. Let's do some critical thinking. Trump is a billionaire. He doesn't have to take on the presidency if he doesn't want to. The stuff that he's been through is enough evidence for me that he loves this country. He doesn't have to run for presidency, y'all. He's a billionaire. Before he was the president the first time, he loves this country. He hates what's going on with our country. So let's just do some critical thinking here. All the attacks and legal litigations and things like that he's been through, it would have gave anybody else reason to just throw in the towel. But because he loves this country so much, he hates the way it's going and the trajectory it's going. Why? Why would you think he's in it for himself? What else does he have to gain? What does he have to gain? He's a billionaire already. He's doing just fine. He can just wrap it up and just sit chill. But no, he loves this country, man. These clowns right here are trying to destroy it in any means necessary. Overrunning our borders with God knows who's coming into our country. Terrorists probably, because no one's being checked. No one's being vetted. They're just pouring in from all types of countries all over the freaking place. And these guys have the audacity to say that Trump doesn't love our country. Lying out of both sides of their neck. Come on, man.
His running mate shares his dangerous and backward agenda.
Dangerous and backward agenda. Maybe the backward agenda from what you guys are trying to do. Pick your nose, bro. Pick your nose.
All of my friends, we went to Yale, had billionaires fund our career, and then we write a book trashing our neighbors that raised us. Come on, we're better than that. We're better than that. And I said it, I want to be clear. I didn't call anybody names. I spent enough years in that lunchroom to know bullies when I see them. I just made a very clear observation that they seem to be really concerned about. I pointed out that taking away reproductive freedoms, banning...
There we go, reproductive freedoms again. And need I remind you, Trump said it a million times, and I may not even agree with this about Trump, but he's he says, you know, even when it comes to abortion, this is what he said. When it comes to rape and incest, he's provided a way for abortion. That's his view. He said you got to follow your heart on that. However you think about that, that's what Trump said. Now, he gave the rights back to every state to make their own regulations and rules against abortion, okay? Because I know that's what this class is talking about, because reproductive care is such a conundrum of falsehood. I mean, I don't even know what the heck he's saying when it comes to that. It's such a ignoramus thing to say. But anyways, but think about that again. He's made rules and regulations to give the freedoms to decide by state how they should do their abortion stuff.
Look, raising the price of insulin, trying to hurt labor unions. Nobody's asking for
raising the price of insulin. Really? Trump single-handedly raised the price of insulin. That's your argument. Okay.
Crap. No one's asking for it.
How about, you know, he's deterred Kim Jong-un from firing rockets ever again and went to He's the only president that had the balls enough to go to North Korea to put a squabashi on Kim Jong-un, Rocket Boy. Remember that when the first part of his presidency, Rocket Boy? And he went over there and squashed that and made deals with every country in the world to make peace agreements to where everybody respected us as a nation. And now no one respects us. Russia doesn't respect us. China doesn't respect us. And look what Russia has done right now since these clowns were in office. They invaded Ukraine. You know, Iran's firing on friggin' Israel like it ain't nothing. Just throwing stuff over the border like it ain't nothing. To this day, still being attacked, going back and forth. There's 2 wars going on right now that these guys don't even want to claim that they're wars. We're not even getting enough coverage on these wars that are going on right now. And these guys don't want to say anything about that. That's enough violence to contradict anything that he's talking about. Trump raised up violence. I mean, what about the summer of 2020? When our country was on fire and Trump did all he could to put a squabashi on that because of all these COVID lockdowns. Come on, man. I don't even want to hear it. These clowns.
Here's the good news. We do the work. This is about the future. We do the work. None of that's going to happen. Vice President Harris believes in those freedoms. She knows that every single person should get a chance at the middle class. She believes in something so beautiful, the promise of America. It's that simple.
The promise of America. Well, again, she's in office right now. And if she's talking about making changes, why don't she make them right now to make it better for the people? All these woulda, coulda, shoulda, done's, but she could be doing them right now.
President, I want to say thank you for putting the trust in me to be your running mate. And I want to say...
And might I add, I mean, a lot of you guys already have done or maybe heard videos and things like that about how Harris got to her rise to the occasion and doing all the things that she did to get to where she's at, you know, and not a very, and because I'm a Christian, I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but, you know, she did things in the back doorway of getting to where she's at. And I'll let you guys discover what that is. But anyway.
She has done so.
And might I add, she's not black.
Much. And with you together, it's reminded us about something. It's reminded us that this work can be about goodness. It can be about smiling. It's tough work, but we can be happy doing it. And Kamala Harris has done something that we will forever be grateful for her.
What's that? Making world salads every time she opens her mouth?
She has brought out the joy in our politics.
She's brought out the joy in our politics. Why? Because she has that snickering laugh every time she says something. That's the joy she's talking about. The awkward laugh and giggle and cackle that she has. That's bringing out the joy of everything. Come on. Wow. Incredible. Wow. That's all I got to say about that. I mean, that's just insane. Well, anyways, I'm curious to see, because I think as of right now, because I think they did some fact checking on his military career, Tim Walz's military career, about how he said he was like a major general, sergeant, whatever, and actually didn't make that rank and actually didn't turn the right paperwork in to get to that rank, whatever. And now there's rumors, I'll say it like that, there's rumors that he's going to come off the ticket now because of that, because Some people are saying that he's not yet. I mean, I'm sure he served his country. I'll say that, but I'm just saying is, you know, the things that he said are in question right now. So there's rumors that he's not actually going to come off the ticket. Anyway, that's enough for me right now. See you guys next time. Bye for now.